Okay, it looks like it is recording. Hello, viewers of YouTube, and welcome to my blind read through of If My Heart Had Wings. And I do not remember the Japanese title on the top of my head. Um, so if you're new to this channel, my name is Aiden, and we primarily do read-throughs of visual novels, which is like a blind reading through each of them, and I give my reactions while reading it, like which is different from like an audiobook, obviously. And yeah, so this will be this is called Connoisseur. uh actually, so I'm starting this because I actually had the disc that I got from a mystery box like 3 or 4 years ago, but I've never really tried it out, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity since we finished one recently and we had a slot to fill. So this is considered to be in the secondary visual novel slot, which means it will get 2 uploads a week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, we have a primary slot, which is Higurashi, Volume 1, currently right now, which is 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, again 12 p.m. EST. And then we have an unscheduled slot, which I will just upload whenever I want, basically, without a schedule. And that is Doki Doki Literature Club. Haven't actually recorded that yet. But yeah, I'm pretty sort of excited to start this. I don't know too much except for the synopsis. And I really haven't played a lot of romance novels, or read a lot of romance novels. I read like one root of like Clanad, like 4 or 5 years ago. It was a really long time ago, and yeah, only one root. So this is pretty foreign to me, but I should enjoy it. I think I've had positive experiences while reading romance manga. I mean, I usually find them really entertaining or really boring. So hopefully this is entertaining. Also, this has different routes, so I will be using a guide to do it, just because I personally prefer kinetic novels, because I just like reading through the story, like one set story. But if I am going to do this, I want it to go smoothly, and that's a train. I live next to a train track. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's not, so let's hope the very first recording isn't too bad. But yeah, I prefer routes to go really smoothly, and I'm just more of a linear type of guy. Obviously, I haven't really spoiled myself. I just looked at a couple guides without really looking at the options to see like the route order, if there is any, and they pretty much all like say the same thing. So for the first playthrough, we're gonna be doing I think her name's Kotori route. Kotori. Well, we'll see when they say it. I'm pretty sure this is also voice acted, and we'll go through there. And I think the bad endings aren't anything worthwhile to look at, apparently, so we don't have to go through those. Oh yeah, also this is the restored version. Again, I got this on DVD, but I did do a restoration / better translation, I think, patch. It's from a 2018 Reddit post. I mean, if you just Google If My Heart Had Wings restoration patch, you'll probably find it. I just chose the most recent one, so it should be working. I seen some of the files change, so it should be good to go, which restores the H scenes, and I think they censored some of the lines and changed them because they're too graphic, I guess. And I'm the type of person who doesn't like to read any censored comment because I prefer to read how the author intended it to be read. So yeah, I can understand why they did, though, obviously to appeal to a younger audience, and I guess which also means a larger audience. But yeah, I don't really care. I mean, I don't really care about the H scenes either. We'll read them, and I did a read through of Seondary VN, and age scene for anything, even books or like this novels, they can get kind of funny just because they're trying to make it sound really passionate. So yeah, we'll be reading that. So let's just get this started. Normal episode times is at least 30 minutes, usually to an hour, but like 40 minutes is I think it's the norm, or 45. Since we had a pretty big intro, I'll probably try to make it a little longer. But yeah, let's get started. I'm really excited for this. Hopefully it works. I haven't even touched anything. Also, just a side note, I really like this theme music. It sounds really epic. But yeah, all I know about this is I read the synopsis. I know it's a romance involving a school club, I think, and an airplane. Or no, involving high school students and an airplane club, I think. Yeah, let's go. Is there an opening song? Should I watch it? I'll watch it. Oh, no, it's normal. Oh, that is really slow scrolling. Bicycle racing is known to be a tough sport. The toughest part is the hill climb. It's pure hell. Oh wait, I turned on auto. Did I? I don't want to turn on auto. Oh, wait a minute. This scrolling is really bad. Look at my volume and it's still so loud. Um, this scrolling is way too slow. That's another train. Terrible. Can we just... Why is it so slow? I know older games usually have slower ones. Is this fine? I think that's a little fine. Yeah. Translation patch by Meru. Thanks, friend. Back. So, yeah, that was just way too slow. To climb a steep hill, you have to continue pedaling without rest. It strains every muscle in your whole body. At those times, I had always thought, I can't take this anymore. I'm quitting after this race. Despite that, I always took part in the next race. I had endured severe training so that I wouldn't tire out halfway through the hill climb. Why, you ask? Because I had a reward waiting for me at the end of the climb. Oh. Pretty cool animated or moving backgrounds. Don't see that usually. Okay, just checking the settings. First recording can be rough sometimes. Nothing compared to the feeling of cutting through the wind as I raced down the steep slope at blistering speeds. I felt an incredible rush every time. And just like that, I would forget everything. The pain of the hill climb, the strain on every muscle in my body, and all those days of hard practice. It wasn't a matter of winning or losing. I just enjoyed it, and that's why I continued to ride. That's how it should have been. At that time, I didn't have much experience in life, so what was about to come was beyond my imagination. Suddenly, without warning, something was taken from me. Or perhaps you could say it was locked away or lost. However, taken is the word that best expressed the emotion I felt at that time. This incident taught me one thing. Life isn't all about having fun. I learned a harsh lesson in life. I lost everything. I took it really hard, but I should have thought about it a little more. If something could be taken from me so abruptly, then something could be given to me just as suddenly. The wind was blowing. A gentle but strong wind. Also, if I sound kind of stuffy, I have a cold right now, so my nose is plugged, and I have a lot of phlegm in my throat. It wouldn't be unreasonable to say that we met by chance. Back then, we still had no idea what would begin on that day. Color. The windmill was turning. Its huge size alone was enough to overwhelm people. Its inorganic shape was molded in pursuit of functionality, but to those who didn't know its purpose, it probably just looked bizarre. This is a really nice background. Those solar panels. And so many of them were lined up like that. You could certainly say they were overwhelming. Wonder if... Okay, that is how you do that. But I wonder why. The sight of those white windmills lined up on a green hill gave me a somewhat idyllic impression. Owie. It's amazing to think something like this could be built there, here. At the very least, 5 years ago, there had been nothing here but a wide open field. I heard they were planning on building a large-scale renewable energy research facility. That looks really cool. The cell phone in my pocket vibrated to tell me I had received a text. It's from An-chan. To Aoi. Did you arrive here already? Sorry, I didn't come to meet you. My name is written using a kanji, read as Aoi. Or Au. I don't know. It's a difficult character and is often mistakenly read as Midori. By the way, whether they read it as Aoi or Midori, people often mistake my name for a girl's name, which is a little annoying. Yeah, Aoi does sound female. I don't know about Midori. I wrote a reply right away. I hardly ever texted, so I found the touch keyboard a bit awkward to use. I got here a little early, so I'm just going for a stroll. The windmills are amazing. Okay, sent. The reply came quickly. They're great, right? It's a very popular spot now. If you need anything, feel free to contact me anytime. An-chan. Thanks, An-chan. Chan, not Chan. I sent the text, then sat down on the grass. From my spot on the hillside, I could gaze at the lake and the town stretching across the opposite bank. Kazukara's rapid redevelopment meant that the remnants of the Showa-era buildings were intermingled with modern architecture. The view expressed both the past and the future at the same time. Something white skimmed across my field of vision. For a moment, it looked like one of the windmill blades had torn off and flown away, but there was no way that could have happened. A paper airplane? Is there no voices? Or, oh no, I do know that some games don't have the main protagonist voiced. Oh! What'd I do? Oh, I thought I closed it. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Yeah, I forgot some games do that. Oh well. Just for immersion, I guess. I got up and headed down the slope, chasing it. The paper airplane that was gliding gently eventually lost its momentum and descended. Gotcha. I ran ahead of it, then hopped and caught it midair. Where did it come from? Judging from the direction, it came from the top of the hill. Who would be there other than me at a time like that? I took the paper airplane with me and climbed up the slope, just as I was about to see the top. Ooh. Another one? A strong gust of wind suddenly blew the paper airplane out of my hand. Oh. Hey! Ah, hey, wait! I chased after the paper airplane and ran up the slope. That was the prologue. It's pretty interesting seeing these animated backgrounds. Usually don't see those a lot. Or I haven't anyways. Don't have the largest medium for this type of literature, aka visual novels. Just as I finally caught it. This sounds like a RPG song, honestly. Like a town theme. Ooh, blades. There was someone on the top of the hill. It was a girl sitting in a wheelchair. Dude, that's the coolest looking wheelchair I've ever seen. Looks so sleek. She was looking fleetly into the distant sky. A sudden breeze blew her hair, and she combed it back with her fingers. The girl's black hair and white blouse looked incredible, with the windmills and the blue sky stretched as far as the eye could see in the background. It was as if I was looking at a flawless painting. Why are you calling her a little girl? It's making it sound kind of weird. Little girl, okay. The girl noticed me. I almost started making excuses for coming there. It was like I had stepped into her world without permission, so I felt a little guilty. She wasn't saying anything. She might have been on guard since some guy had suddenly appeared before her. I held out the paper airplane to show her the reason. I do that sometimes. Oh, I can't scroll! Oh, log. The reason I had come. Okay. Did you throw this? These sound effects, though. Her facial expression stiffened the moment she saw it. Is she crying? Suddenly, tears appeared in those delicate eyes. Huh? What the? Tears collected in the corner of her eyes and came running straight down. As I watched, tears came rolling down her cheeks. Hey, without thinking, I walked up beside her. What's wrong? Are you hurt? She shook her head and clung to my hand that I unconsciously held out. Her hand was trembling a little. Squeeze. She weakly squeezed my hand. It's okay now. I didn't know her circumstances or anything, but I squeezed her hand back as I answered. Chicken. Oh, it was a chicken. Pat, pat, pat. Oh, ouch. Before I knew it, some chicken-like fellow suddenly started pecking at my feet. Is that like a... Wait, is that a chicken or a duck? What's with the top hat? Ow, that hurts. What's up with this guy? Hot. Hat, as it was called, calmed down after her command. Dude, look at that duck. Is there a duck route? Thought I skipped something. I'd play that. Cool. A duck? Yeah, it was a duck, right? It turned out to be a chicken-like fellow with a yellow beak and white feathers. Wait, it turned out the chicken-like fellow with a yellow beak and white feathers was actually a duck. It was, yeah, you can tell by the webbed feet. It was wearing a hat for some reason. It looks pretty cool. Close up. Thumbnail, maybe? Might just put the duck in, just because it's funny, but I probably shouldn't. Aww. Cute duck. It was pretty surprising being suddenly attacked by an animal. but it looked like it made her stop crying at the least. Is the towel okay? I don't carry a handkerchief around with me. After I said that, I took a hand towel out of my bag without waiting for her reply. Of course, it had been washed, so it was clean. That's good. Don't give a dirty towel. Why were you crying? If it hurt somewhere. She answered. She pointed to one of the wheels of her wheelchair. It had lost its air and had collapsed. Oh, that would suck. You got a flat tire? Oh. That's actually scary. What a terrible situation. Just a mere flat tire for her. It's like having her legs taken away. Yeah, exactly. Don't you have a cell phone? She answered dismayed. Oh, the paper airplane. Oops. SOS. Oh, this? Didn't even read it. I opened up the paper airplane I still had in my hand. I'm in trouble. Someone help me. I'm on the windmill hill. So she started crying from relief because someone carrying the paper airplane appeared. She was looking fine, but she'd been shaking just a moment before. She must have been really scared. Hold on a moment. The bait at my feet rustled as I rummaged inside it. She tilted her head in puzzlement when she saw the tools I had been taking out. 1 second, blowing my nose. Getting real clogged up there. Ah! Sorry, I put it on full screen. Yikes. My fault. Yeah. Amateur hour over here. She tilted her head in puzzlement when she saw the tools I had taken out. Could you get off for a moment? Why? I'll fix it. You can't go anywhere if you have a flat tire, can you? It seemed even getting out of the wheelchair was difficult for her. What should I do? Excuse me. I'd seen some methods on TV. If I remembered correctly, the caretakers would lift their charges from the front. Apparently, she also imagined something similar and froze. Excuse me for a moment. I put my arms around her sides, to her back, and lifted her up right away. Whoa, she's so light. She was much lighter than I had expected, so I used a bit too much strength. Hop. I put her down on the soft grass before she could grasp the situation. I wonder if they reuse sounds, because I can definitely hear these sounds for like an H scene. They're a little exaggerated. I'll fix it right away, so hold on a moment. Oh! We got a Sprite. Okay. So I can't tell, are we older? Are we not a high school student? Maybe I read it wrong. I thought we were. I mean, why is he calling her a little girl? Maybe she's just, like, little and not little in age, or young in age. They're made in the same way as bicycle tires. I immediately started on the repairs. Oh, I'm dying. Probably not the best day to record, but you know, I have a schedule I have to keep up with, so, and it's not too bad. But it kind of sucks for that first episode, right? She was behind me, so I couldn't see her expression, but I had a feeling she was glaring at me reproachfully for some reason. The duck was waddling around me and pecking at the soil while I was quietly working. Is this duck your pet? Housemate? Housemate? Aww, he does the sound effects for hat. So cute. I like cute stuff. I didn't know if ducks could recognize their own names, but he did turn around when he was called. Hey, he's pretty smart. As I looked at the duck, I saw her legs laid out on the grass in my field of vision. So she can't move them? There were various reasons why people would need to use a wheelchair, but it seemed she had a disability in her legs. When I'd picked her up a moment before, her body had stiffened up with surprise, but there had been no strength in her legs at all. The duck returned from his little excursion. Excuse me, if you heard that. While he was walking around her, he would occasionally try to jump onto her lap. But she pushed him off. But she was pushing him off. I watched the exchange from the corner of my eye while fixing the flat tire. Okay, this is a thumbnail. I wonder if this is gonna be a visual novel with not a lot of sprites and it's more just scenes or CGs. That'd be interesting. That's not really the case though. I only had them by chance. As she said that, she stretched herself. Yeah, it is. Strong winds blow through this place. There's no windmills here 5 years ago, though. There were no windmills here 5 years ago. I've just come back to this town. She directed her gaze at something far away. Yeah. She suddenly hung her head. She seemed lonely and strangely sad. There was an awkward silence while I continued working. The duck looked up at the sky and tilted his head in puzzlement. She followed his gaze. What am I looking at? What? There was something flying in the air. It was crossing over the lake and gradually getting closer. Wow. Oh, it's a sea. Wait, I thought that looked like a seagull for a second. Oh, that's a small plane. That's like a 2-person or 3-person plane. At first I thought that was a paper airplane she had thrown. At first I thought that a paper airplane she had thrown was coming back to us. But that wasn't the case. It crossed over the lake and eventually reached the air above the small hill where we were. An airplane? Not a paper airplane, a real one. But what on earth? Compared to the airplanes I knew, it was much thinner and its wings were really big. It's a glider. That surprised face. A glider? It kinda looks like a seagull from there. Like, I was thinking it's an airplane, then I saw it and I'm like, wait, is that a seagull? I repeated the name to confirm it, then looked up at the sky once more. It's large. Sorry, choking on my own Phlegm. Its large white silhouette with spread wings somewhat reminded me of a seagull. See? Not the only one. Owie. We're alike already. The glider kept turning leisurely above us. It's flying very slowly. As it moved slowly across the blue sky, it seemed to be floating rather than flying. Or, you know, gliding. It looked like it would feel nice. The turning glider started descending towards the top of the hill where we were, as if it had given up on climbing. However, it didn't look like it was going to land. It was just reducing its altitude. Why don't we try waving? They might notice us. She earnestly stretched out her hand and waved towards the white aircraft gliding in the sky. Oh, it's so cute. More hat scenes. But these are cool though. I appreciate these animated scenes. I wasn't sure if the pilot noticed us or not. However, the wings flashed with a reflected light, and it looked like it was answering our waving. The glider then turned its back to us and flew away, back to the other side of the lake where it had come from. She mumbled sadly as she lowered her hands. Extend the little wings which fly in this sky highly. Higurashi? I know that sound anywhere. Kind of? Sounds a little weird. Like the final one where it drains on. I fixed the flat tire and went with her back to the town. We reached the residential area on the opposite side of the lake of the Windmill Hill, where... sorry, just checking something. Just checking the time. Where we came from. I'll take you back to your home. It seemed she was going to say more, but she bit her tongue. Well, I guess there's no way a disabled girl would bring a guy she hardly knew to her house just because he showed her a little kindness. Don't mention it. If you did a flat tire again, call me any time. I said it jokingly, but she blushed and looked down bashfully. If she wanted to thank me, she already did that a moment ago. Yeah, I had fun too. Plus I got to see something unusual, too. The glider we had seen a while before was flying nearby at that moment. She murmured softly and giggled. Coupled with her cute and dainty appearance, it was a very charming smile. I like the little part of the wheelchair you can see in the sprite. Actually looks really good. Okay, take care. The wheels squeaked as she pushed down the wheelchair, along with her hands, down an empty street. The duck wearing a hat waddled along behind her. Hey. She pulled herself at a stop and looked back at me. See you again. Very blushy. She made a troubled and embarrassed face, then left without saying anything. She sure was cute. Where was she from? Her appearance was quite graceful, as if she were a daughter of a rich family. A little lady with a duck? With a top hat. That's a classy duck. It was an odd combination, but they were strangely fitting for each other. Okay, I'd better get going. I was supposed to head to the dormitory called Flying Fish Manor. Okay, some sort of student. Due to certain circumstances, that place would be my new home. I looked up at the clouds moving above while I was walking along the gently sloping street. They drifted along leisurely, reminding me of the glider. That distinctive silhouette had left a mysterious impression on me. Oh, look at that place. What's that thing in the window? I think it's a stuffed animal, but from here it looks like a creepy person. I finally found it. This place. Is it? Flying Fish Manor. Oof. There's a huge difference between its appearance and its name. That's like giving a tough-looking mastiff a name like Lily. At least call it Maiden de Flying Fish or something. That's why I couldn't find it even though I looked everywhere. I was sure that place couldn't be the dormitory, so I completely ruled it out and walked everywhere around the area. I still couldn't believe it, so I checked the sign one more time. Flying Fish Manor. There's no doubt about it. Even so, I'm still not entirely convinced. That's a loud train. Probably just my windows open. After all, I knew a lot about that place. What is that transition? It was an old Western-style house built on the shore of the lake. Because of its slightly eerie appearance, we used to call it Witch's Mansion when we were kids. A test of courage, we would often sneak into the yard. We thought it was a rich person's residence, but it was actually a dormitory. Keifu Private Academy Student Dormitory. I can't just stand here in shock. Whew. Ha. Okay. I took a deep breath and straightened myself. Maybe that wasn't how I was supposed to say okay. Say like, okay. Hello. It's really fast. Oh. Girl in underwear. That close up. Whoa. My expression that I had tried so hard to straighten out instantly crumbled when a girl only in her underwear suddenly appeared before me. Well, why? She's the one who should be troubled by being seen, so why am I the one feeling under pressure? Kana. Another girl, but dressed normally, showed up from the inside. She let out a wild scream when she saw me. The glasses she was wearing almost slipped off. Another girl appeared. Well, semi-naked. What? No, I didn't. My cell phone rang. It was like a divine mercy. The display indicated it was my mom. Excuse me for a moment. After I swiftly escaped outside, I quickly pressed the button to answer the call. Mom! Well, this place is full of girls. Moreover, one was in her underwear. I checked the sign once again and noticed some small writing in the corner. Girl dormitory. This is a girls' dormitory? Did they put him there because his name sounds feminine? You did this on purpose. What kind of mother are you? From now on, I'm going to be this place's dorm mother, right? They were screaming at the top of their lungs just now. That damn mother of mine, she's enjoying the situation. Creak. The front doors opened slightly, and the girls peeked through. When I called out to them, they pulled their heads back like a pair of surprised churros and shut the door. What should I do about this? And well, that's the situation. Okay, so we are a bit older, and we're actually a supervisor, not a student. Okay. Yeah, I thought he looked a little older, but it was hard to tell. So that's why he was calling her little, because she was actually a young student, right? While I was explaining the situation, the boarders watched me from a fair distance, except for the underwear girl, who had put on some clothes on. This is a bad idea after all, a guy being the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory. Yeah, it sounds kind of odd. The girl who was hiding behind the underwear girl, even though she had put clothes on, they were pretty dotty, nodded in agreement. You girl. By the way, one more person had joined us. It was a timid girl who looked the same age as me, or maybe a year younger. Wait, how old is this guy? I guess he maybe he's like 19, 20, you know, young adult, barely an adult age. What is it? Oh, thank you. I'm still a student, starting tomorrow. I'll be going to Keifu Academy. What? How are you the dorm mother as a student? I'm a second year. In high school or university? I'm confused. I'm sure they'll clarify it. She said hee hee. What do you mean by hee hee? The person who suggested to do all this was my mom, and well, she kind of half tricked me into accepting this job as the dorm mother. My mom had a job connected to real estate, and her company was managing the property. The girl who seemed the oldest said so, and the others reluctantly nodded in agreement. This is just until the landlord comes back, or until we find someone else. I apologize for the inconvenience, but for the time being, I'm looking forward to working with you. Everyone left and went back to their rooms once we came to an agreement and the conversation was over. Kanako. Is that the first word? I forgot. I started with a K, right? Nope, her name's Kotori, so that's not you. Well, sup, Kanako. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Were all of those boarders? I guess those are the people staying in dorms. I've never heard that term before, boarders. Kanako was the underwear girl. The tall girl with the blonde hair was Yuta-san, and the one wearing the glasses was Sano-san. The timid girl who showed up last was Ryoko-san. That was 4 people altogether. Shut in. Oh. In other words, there are 5 boarders in total. The building was pretty big, but there's only 5 people living there. Come to think of it, my mom did say that there were quite a few empty rooms. It was an old building, and it was somewhat far from the school, so maybe it wasn't that popular. Anyway, the conversation ended well, so I called my mother to let her know. So in the end, we somehow worked things out. What are you talking about, Mom? Oh, maybe it's the first girl. Suddenly, the sound of flapping wings came from down the hallway. It's my boy! Hat! And her sidekick, and his sidekick, wheelchair girl. Huh? Something big and white rushed down the hallway, and behind it, at breakneck speed. Zoom in. A girl in a wheelchair is chasing it. Oh! That's adorable! Aww! That's so cute! And then he has a little panties in his mouth. Look at this guy. This guy's amazing. Can tell it's someone voice acting too and not a real duck. Imagine recording that. Be hilarious. The big white thing, which seemed like a duck, which seemed... Wait, what? The big white thing, which seemed kind of duck-like, ran behind me while flapping its wings. The girl in the wheelchair avoided the obstacle in her path, in other words, me, and chased after the duck like a drift racer. I was so overwhelmed by the speed that I couldn't say anything. The girl in the wheelchair caught the duck at my feet and snatched away a small white cloth, probably panties, from his beak. That face. She had pretty good facial expressions from before too. That's good. Aww. The girl set the duck down in her lap and lectured him. I remember seeing her before. However, she's completely different from the impression I got in the afternoon. Yeah, a lot less gentle and modest. Back then she seemed sweeter, or maybe graceful and transient. I wouldn't say transient. However, her appearance was the same. It wasn't often that you saw such a pretty girl. Looks like that tire is in good condition. She finally realized that there was a guy standing there. Oh. Yeah, what is it? That's a nice coincidence. Sure, I got it. Okay, talk to you soon, Mom. I replied and ended the call. After saying that, she realized she was holding the small cloth in her hand and quickly stuffed it under her butt to hide it. Kotori. Oh, this is the first girl. I mean, I guess that makes sense, since we were introduced to her first. Kanako-san, who was supposed to be having a bath, suddenly showed up. Hey look, take a good look. Is what it felt like she was pointing as she... Is what it felt like she was saying as she relentlessly pointed at me. The girl called Kotori glanced at Kanako-san like she was interfering. I'm the new dorm mother. Aoi Minase? Minase? I don't know. I'm not good at names. I need to hear them. So, Habane Kotori. Habane-san reluctantly responded to my introduction. Why is she being so rude? She was so sweet before. Oh, my boy. My boy Hat. Hat turned to face me and flapped his wings. He was a clever duck. Yes, that's right. Are you against it? It can't be helped if she says she doesn't like that the dorm mother of a girl's dormitory is a guy, and the same age at that. Okay, so they are the same age. Maybe she just is little. Odd point, I know. Habane-san closed her eyes and quietly took a deep breath, as if she was trying to clear her mind. Habane-san. What? In the afternoon? Which part? She stopped there and glanced at Kanako-san, who was standing behind Kotori, picking up her ears. Kanako-san got the message and disappeared down the hallway. I missed a part. There we go. That incident was quite vivid, and I remembered it well. Seeing a girl's tears from so close wasn't something one experienced often, I guess. I don't know, that's a weird statement. I don't know what she thought about it, but those tears were very beautiful. Sure. Huh? No, not yet. Okay. Just kind of adorable. Don't be ridiculous. If you keep repeating it like that, it'll get engraved in my memory even more. Habane-san straightened her back, put on a clear, aloof smile, and brushed up her hair with a natural gesture. Cool beauty. Look at that smug face. What is this? Beauty? Oh my god. There's a word like that. She said, then straightened her back and made a composed smile again. Now I got what you meant already. Ouch. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. I care a little better now. Habane-san threw just about every possible insult at me and turned her wheelchair around. With that, she raced back down the hallway and took refuge in her room. What's up, dude? Had got thrown off along the way. He chased... Ah! I did it again. Tragic. How do I look? Had got thrown off along the way. He chased after her and entered the room through a small door, probably meant for a duck, installed at the bottom of the main door. Wow. I looked on in disbelief. I don't need to say this, but the dainty and delicate image that she had in the afternoon had completely crumbled away. Yeah, she's completely different. Probably just caught her in a sensitive time. Taking the faintly sprouting feeling of love along with it. But cool beauty. I remembered her confidently brushing her hair up. I almost burst out laughing. What a funny girl. From the very beginning, everything had been so messed up. But I had a hunch things were about to get kind of entertaining. Same. I think it's time to stop, though, with the new day. Oh, maybe this is a chapter break. It probably is this, yeah. So we actually did 2 chapters, I guess. We'll probably follow those for the next recording. Sounds like a knife. Alright, so we're gonna end it off here. Pretty long episode, hour. Like I said, I wanted to make it a little longer for the kind of big intro, but hope you enjoyed it. I know I probably don't sound the best, but it was entertaining. I mean, the dialogue with the girl on the hill thing when we first met her, it definitely felt like I felt sort of a cheesiness, I guess, with romance novels. Like I'm like, yeah, this is definitely romance novels, and the weird sound effects, which kind of sounds like it can be used as like hentai sounds too, for the H scenes. Like I'll look out for that if I remember whenever that pops up. But yeah, I mean it's a pretty good start. It's enjoyable, and it was fun enough. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed it too. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I answer them at least within 24 hours since I'm not, on the computer 24/7. But yeah, and we'll continue. And next episode will be on Thursday every 2 weeks. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.